my 12 international markets, where a lot of our fresh fruits and vegetables are sold. And you can imagine the level of status loss that we get in that market. Next thing. Is it working? Okay. Okay, please put it complete. We all know what post-harvest loss is. But the important thing to point out here is that when food is lost or wasted, apart from the human resources used, all of the natural resources that were expended in the supply chain are also lost, including the use of land, the nutrients, the synthetic and organic fertilizers, the water, and the energy that was used. In Nigeria, we know post-harvest loss is very high, and specifically for perishable commodities and fresh fruits and vegetables, up to 40 to 50%. So there's a small difference between food loss and waste, and sometimes it's misunderstood. Food loss is referred to the decrease in edible food mass, the dry matter of nutritional value, which is quality loss of food that were originally intended for human consumption. Then the food loss is the actually taking place at production, post-harvest, and processing stages in the supply chain. Then food waste refer to the food appropriate for human consumption being discarded, whether or not it is kept beyond its before dates or left to spoil. So we mention food loss or waste only for products that are directed for human consumption, excluding feed and parts of products which are not edible. Now, what? We have primary factors, we have secondary factors. Mechanical loss, microbial action, environmental factors. I'm happy that I'm speaking after environmental factors. With climate change, temperatures are high, and that will impact on growth of microorganisms, and that will result in spoilage. These are harvesting methods. And you have mechanical injury to the product that already starting the process of post-harvest loss. The major causes: poor stroke, inadequate road infrastructure. Want to move your food produce from where you produce it. On the road, they are dancing. Your truck is dancing, and they're having injuries here and there on the product. Lack of and insufficient cold chain and logistics. I will talk about this because this is an area I have passion for, because the advanced world are actually having an advantage of food supply because they have a functional cold chain system. We don't have. This was actually one of the reasons why in 2018, during one of the projects I managed, I set up with other stakeholders the Organization for Technology and Advancement of Cold Chain in West Africa, so that we can look at cold chain development. It's a critical part of it. If we neglect it, there will be a problem. Inadequate value addition, and then inappropriate packaging and storage facilities. These are major factors we know already. So let's look at the global stage. 45% of all fruit and vegetables lost, 35% of all fish and seafood, 30% of all cereals, 20% of all dairy products, 20% of all meat and poultry lost. And where do the losses take place? If you look at Sub-Saharan Africa, if you look at the Sub-Saharan Africa, you observe here that the green part is agricultural production. Look at Sub-Saharan Africa compared to the other countries. We're not doing bad well, but when it comes to the post-harvest, you see that our losses are high. You can see the difference there. And that's why we need all that we've been saying since is production. After production, we must face. But let's look also the economics of global food loss. The cost of food loss and waste is estimated at nearly $1 trillion annually. And a 2018 study, and if you now talk of 2024, 2018 study shows that this will grow, amounting to 2.1 billion tons of food annually, a global economic loss of 1.5 trillion in 2030. If we remain in a business as usual scenario, that is just produce without service handling activities. So, what level of loss? 40% of all food produced is lost between harvest and retail, and 70% of all food produced is wasted in households, restaurants, and across other food services. Have you attended birthday parties, wedding parties, and you see the amount of food that they wasted, and then conferences like this. People collect food that they cannot finish, and after so human beings are part of the post-harvest. So reducing post-harvest loss of perishable food through adequate cold chain infrastructure and efficient supply chain can reduce the vulnerabilities of least developed countries caused by food supply shortages. Let's look at the dilemma of post-harvest loss in Nigeria. This is tomato value chain. Look at the way it is being the way it is being transported. Look at how it is being marketed. And then Benet is one of the projects that I managed the Post-Harvest Loss Alliance for Nutrition while I was at K. We look at 3 solutions to the 3 problems. Appropriate packaging. That was when we promoted the use of reusable plastic crates as an alternative to raffia baskets. If you use raffia basket to move tomato from Kano to Lagos and you stop properly, so you can lose 36 to 39%. But if you use plastic crates, except they are not handled very well, the highest loss you can get is around 9%. So and then we look at solar technology. So what you see here is a Nigerian solution. This is Cold House Limited. It's based in Owerri. MCC Road in Owerri. Ipamian Cold House. Solar power 100% that you can install anywhere, install grid. In fact, you already have one installed in the Nigeria International Market, 2 in Kano, in several markets where people can store their fresh commodities, and if the marketers, they can pick what they want to sell, and then the one they could not sell is there. They pay for it, it's not free, but they have value for their products. So these are solutions. So what are the value addition methods to reduce post-harvest losses? So value addition in food refers to the process of increasing the value of raw or pre-processed commodities through the addition of ingredients or processes that make them more attractive to the buyer and are more readily usable by the consumer. It is a worthwhile investment that has been echoed over and over again. Value addition is a worthwhile investment that generates higher returns, allow penetration of a new potentially higher value market, create brand identity, develop brand loyalty, and extend the production season. The more value you provide, the more returns you can draw out from the market. That is also resonated here. So, some examples: drying, packaging, cooling, cold storage, smoking, fermentation, malting, that is germinating cereals, and drying them. That is a value addition process. So let's look at some of these value addition equipment that are locally made. These are made in Nigeria, and they can be used to add value to our products. They can be used to add value to our products. At least we have some capacity to develop value additional equipment that can do processing for us. These are valuable locally. Then in terms of value addition, this is converting cassava into high-quality cassava flour that is used in the bakery industry. This is why I was working at the International Institute of Tropical Agriculture for the Global at IITA. This is the entire process, using for dryers, different types of technologies for drying, for making high-quality cassava flour. And today we have local manufacturers of flash dryers, roller dryers that we can use. These are our value addition. You cannot just eat meat like that. Nobody just eat wheat. Value addition give you bread flour, confectionery flour, semolina, pasta flour, couscous, whole wheat flour. These are the common preserved products that we have from rice, from millet, from groundnut. These are the common, we all know all this, so I won't belabor you. Cowpea is interesting because cowpea with high quality cassava flour and onions and pepper, you can actually produce akara chips as a ready-to-eat product that you can feed for 6 months. I actually have it ready we can prepare. But I stopped production because of the cost of raw materials. Now, this is also value addition. There is what we call individually quick frozen foods. We used to read this, but it's done in Nigeria. There's a company in Nigeria that does this. It's there in Lagos. Then freeze dry. This is pineapple freeze dried. Done in Nigeria. Freeze dried. This is value addition. I mean, if you export this, you have more value for your product. So value addition is something we should look at. Freeze dried. So these are food preservation methods. I will skip this. Why do we do food preservation? The seasonality of food, perishability, marketing requirement, and distribution. What are the specific objectives of food preservation? Sometimes we just say preserve. I'm going to the basics here, just to get the background so that when we are talking about preservation, we really know what we are preserving. Prevention of contamination of food from damaging agents, physical, chemical, and biological. Delay or prevention of growth or spoilage and harmful microorganisms in the product. Delay of enzymatic spoilage. Make the food safe and then reduce preservative losses. So, I'll go to the next one. We also have traditional food preservation techniques which many of us know, such as pressing, filtration, flotation, sealing, safety, size reduction, and this is common in our process. So, what does modern food preservation technique rely on? So, it's scientific principle, chemical preservation, biological, then physical. These are principles that you use to be able to ensure proper preservation. And then we come to one that is often neglected when we are talking about post-harvest losses and food preservation. Packaging is an essential component of the food system as it assures the safe handling and delivery of fresh and processed food products from the point of production to the end user. On a global scale, food packaging ensures food security. If you need food security, you must do proper packaging. Because food that is not properly packaged will be wasted and will be lost. So, these are the benefits of appropriate packaging. It also ensures the food safety. And then facilitates local international trade. You can imagine how you are going to move Gary from Nigeria to Kenya. You don't have proper packaging. It's not going to work. It also enhances export competitiveness. We have modified food technologies that help us to improve the shelf life. I will skip and move on to coaching technologies. This is an area where we are deficit. We are really very deficit. We did a mapping of coaching facilities in Lagos State, and we are extrapolated for Nigeria. We are really behind in terms of our population, in terms of our food that we grow. We are far behind in terms of that. So, what is a coaching? A cold chain is a temperature controlled supply chain. An unbroken cold chain is an uninterrupted series of refrigerated production, storage and distribution activities, along with associated equipment and logistics, which maintain the desired low temperature. It is used to prevent spoilage, preserve and extend the shelf life of products such as fresh and natural produce, fruits and vegetables, seafood, poultry, meat, ice cream, frozen food, vaccines, etc. Now, the ultimate goal of the cold chain is to safely and consistently deliver the desired food product, the nutritional value and quality at every step in the cold chain, from harvest or production or swap to the consumer. That's why the cold chain is a broken cold chain is a disaster. It has to be the consumer's cold chain. So what is, so this is what is involved from production down to end user. These are the commodities that really needs cold chain, and we have them in Nigeria. We need to pay attention to developing the cold chain in Nigeria. Otherwise, our service losses will continue to increase, and we'll be in the same cycle. So these are cold chain infrastructure examples. Some of them are developed in Nigeria. Like this is called hubs. That's one of the many. So these are practical solutions that have been deployed. This is solar powered cold room, 10-ton storage capacity that is in Olu market in Imo State. This is another one. This is the cold hub. One of them is in Nigeria traditional market. People walking with their crates of fresh fruits and vegetables, not only tomato, cucumber, different type of fruits. They place them for the fee. They take them to the market, sell, come and take another set of crates to sell. And so they make more money keeping them in the cold store. While we're talking about cold chain, look at the typical market. This is a market in one of the northwest states. This is how the food is sold. Then you will see the meats as well as the same elsewhere. See another one. Are these properly packaged? Are these properly packaged? Are they under the right condition they are supposed to be sold? Many of them are not. It's part of the challenge we have. So this is something I want us to see. The one in green. I want us to read together. The one in green. The last one.
Now 50 million people could be fed.
I'm not hearing you. 950 million people could be fed food currently lost to broken cold chains globally. 950 million people. If the global cold chain system is including the one in Nigeria, 950 million will have food on their table. So that tells you the importance of ensuring that we don't know the cold chain. And then 526 million tons of food lost due to lack of cold chains annually. And then 13% of all food production is lost due to lack of cold chain. We are talking of total food, but out of that, cold chain, look at what cold chain, an inefficient cold chain system or the lack of cold chain, the food that is lost just because we are not able to have that cold chain system. Okay, these are the key enablers. And the question is this doable in Nigeria? Stable electricity supply for powering on-grid cold chain facility, cost-effective off-grid cold chain solutions that can be installed anywhere in the country, local content development, solar panels, insulation panels, compressors, evaporators, capacity building of our engineers, technicians, research and development on cold chain technologies, logistics management. These are all needed to deliver that. Okay, so recommendations. Number one is to promote or scale up our outputs for post-harvest loss reduction technology developed by Nigerian research institutes, tertiary institutes, and private sector players. There are several value addition methods that have been developed. There are packaging technology that have been developed. The use of hermetic bags. The PICS bags were developed in the US. That is, PICS is Purdue Improved Crop Storage Bag. PICS. Purdue Improved Crop Storage Bags. But we also have one now that one of our research institutes, Nigerian Stock Product Research Institute in Lorraine, have developed in collaboration with Backwoods. Backwoods is a stereo flags of Nigeria. It's zero fly bags that you can use to store cereals and legends without chemicals. For 6 months, 1 year, without chemicals. That's available in the market that can be used. It's part of way of reducing post-harvest losses. We have evaporative cooling chambers, zero energy cooling chambers. We have solar dryers and hybrid dryers that have been developed locally. We have flash dryers and water dryer developed locally. Dryer welding equipment developed locally. Then we also have private sector players organized who are into cold chain equipment manufacture. They can give you any type of cold chain facility you need locally in Nigeria now. Either solar power 100 ton capacity, solar power 30 ton, and then the conventional blast freezing, the special industrial processing zone, and there's no power supply. Of what use is it? How is it going to function? Then what of the export processing zones? They also need functional facilities. And then what of our technology incubation centers? They need to be reactivated with facilities to function. Then the government should make the strategic grain reserves work. They should make it work. We have strategic grain reserves. How many of us have seen them where they are, our strategic grain reserves? How many of us have seen them? Are they in functional state? And we're talking about post-harvest loss reduction. I'm not even sure there's a specific post-harvest unit in the Federal Ministry of Agriculture. I think we should start paying attention to that. The Federal Ministry of Agriculture should look at post-harvest units specifically to address many of these. Then we need to provide more pay as you use working code in markets anywhere in the country. Solar power. Nigeria has the solar intensity to do. And then we must train farmers on post-harvest handling and storage. Skills on post-harvest handling. Not only we train how to harvest, when to harvest, how to transport, how to store. They must also be trained. Then we need to improve their work. Then public-private partnership for coaching development. Then we need a national building plan for effective coaching development. And OTACA, the Organization for Technology Advancement of Coaching in West Africa, of which I'm the chairman of the Board of Trustees, will be willing to support this in the government. We are talking. We are still waiting for response. Then we also need an industrial green belt where we can harness our solar and distribute it for use to process, to store, and to preserve. That's what I'm going to end. Thank you very much. These are commodities that need post-harvest. Show that picture again. These are commodities that need value addition. Oh, you have removed it. Yeah. These are the needs. Look at some of those. They need value addition, preservation, and processing.
Thank you very much. Pineapples and banana riding bicycle. That's a very good one. Thank you. When Dr. Okoro was presenting his paper, Professor Carl Adams, Vice Chancellor of Cosmopolitan University of Abuja, is also in the room. We appreciate you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Tomorrow, like I said earlier, will be for syndicate discussion. And so the syndicate group have been broken into 7. Group 1, that's tomorrow. Group 1 will have which is on policy and registration framework. Federal Ministry of Agri, Federal Ministry of Innovation, Science and Tech, Agri Research Council of Nigeria, Nation Council of Food, Science and Tech, Manufacturer Association of Nigeria, National Space Research Development Agency, Pan-African Competitiveness Forum, and National Youth Service Corps. That will be Group 1 tomorrow. Group 2, that will be focused on group agricultural practices, will be National Board for Technology Incubation, National State University, MSME Forum, National Biotechnology Development Agency, Nigeria Base, Businesswomen Network, Cassava Growers Association, National SARS Association also. Group 3, which will be on post-harvest loss, the paper we just listened to, will be Ahmadu Bello University, Dangote University, Awita, SBN and Gale, Speeder, and University of Calabar will be in Group 3 tomorrow. Group 4, which will be focused on funding and financing, will have UNIDO, UNICEF, Plateau State Ministry of Science and Tech, Speeder, Nigeria Governors Forum, Lagos Business School, and National Foods. That's Group 4. Group 5 will have the challenges of food security and safety, Beans University, FACAN, Osman Fodio University, PACF, NECA, Manufacturer Association of Nigeria, and NASI. Group 6, on collaboration and partnership, will be Asuri, Nasima, BAN, MWIAB, NASI, ADS Foods, ADSI Cooperative Group. And the final group, Group 7, which will be on climate change, will be on NASRDA, Federal Ministry of Science and Tech, Federal Ministry of Agriculture, Federal Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment, Nigeria Governors Forum, UNESCO, and Cosmopolitan University. The engineer overseas have agreed to also get this typed. Maybe while you're having your lunch, you have it to look at the screen. And we'll come in tomorrow morning. It will be on the screen for you to know the group you belong. And then finally, our final paper today, and I really feel for Professor Katampa, because he's the one standing between the audience. Katampe? No, Katampa. He's the one standing between you that is calling Katampe and lunch. Professor Ibrahim Katampa, Professor of Organic Chemistry, will be taking a look at effective national and international collaboration and partnership in global food security and safety.
So since you couldn't call my number, I'll charge everybody rental. Everybody that's saying that, which I will pay rent. Can you just stand up for 1 minute?
Sorry.
Because sometimes
Let me send this one.
So just praise yourself. About the deadline slide.
Just hold this up. Just the man. Focus on the man.
Because once you stand for a few minutes, how much energy comes to your brain? You get back a lot of energy, so you can sit down. So thank you so much. I'm the one standing between you and lunch. And I'm the one standing as a last speaker. It's very difficult. However, what I'm going to do is encapsulate what everybody has covered. A lot of us will be confused. A lot of things have come into us. We have to have cold room facilities. We have to have post-harvest. We have to have all this. But the question is, how do we do it? Can a tree make a forest? Yes or no? What one thing do you think will help us do it? Our last speaker told me something. That it's not because we don't have it, it's because of implementation. But how do you implement? You have to what?
Synergy.
That's one of the weak points. How we don't get things done. So I'll try to bring us together. How will we collaborate to form a product? The product can be the cold food. The product can be that processed food. If you see the water on your table, which one technology did it? Can you take a water bottle? Which one technology you think created that water bottle? It's a collaborative effort, right? The first speaker said a farmer just gets 17 cents out of every $1. He's at the bottom of the food chain, but without the farmer, the whole food chain. But yet, farmers in America are the richest farmers. You know why? Because they are land sizes. So we can be profitable. So let me go quickly. To be food secure and safe in Nigeria, there is need for what? Transformation in the way we produce, process, and eat our food. Somebody talked about nutritious food in the morning. I think it was you. Yeah. It's not just about eating. Yam in the morning, rice in the afternoon, then situation comes in the evening. It's all the same thing, right? So
These are basically Nigerian.
Right. All of right. Very soon, a lot of us live sedentary lifestyle. What happened? We have diabetes. Very soon, a lot of us are starting to develop diabetes because we are middle class, sedentary lifestyle, always sitting there. But our food is not nutritious. It's filling. I can see my stomach. It's filling, but it's not what? So three things: production, processing, and eating right. The last speaker, I'm also a post-harvest loss person. Did a lot of work on post-harvest law, climate smart agriculture. 1 year ago, I got $5 million grant from climate smart agriculture and community farming. And a lot of what is shared in your slide is what we are proposed. The biggest contributor to climate smart is agricultural waste. So how do you sustainably produce agriculture food without impacting climate? So we'll be talking about food loss, food waste. My colleague gave data, but look at the value chain. Anything we do, whether you're trying to grow tomatoes or you're trying to grow corn, you have to look at what? Entire value chain. We went to Guyana with Dr. Tibini a year ago to study quinoa value chain. But the problem with us is we don't study the whole value chain. We stop at one angle. It's all interconnected. That's what the last speaker said. Unless you look, and when you study the value chain, it's not that you have to do everything. Then you look for strategic partners. It's like a chain. That's why it's called a chain. Are you getting it? It's called a chain. So when you hear food loss and food waste, they are two different things. So you have to decide what aspect of that chain are you playing. You cannot possibly play at every chain. Only in Nigeria you say, what's your role? I'm a general manager. And a mechanic in Nigeria fixes everything. That's the problem. You have to be a specialist in something. You have to be. Will you know about something? Yes. Are you an expert in that thing? Are you knowledgeable about that thing? Yes. You have to be knowledgeable, but you don't have to be an expert in everything. That's the problem. So, when we talk about food loss, production, handling, and storage, and that's what the processing, all this can create food loss. As you go around to the value chain consumption, the cost of loss becomes higher. In production, that's farming. Am I getting my yield by hectare? And there are different processes. If you're a farmer and you're under production, then it's my land giving me the yield it's supposed to. So it's not just the seeds, but it's that interrelationship with soil health. And here you talk about soil health. How are you sustainably using the manure? If you keep putting NPK fertilizers all the time, guess what? The soil becomes sick. If you keep popping pills all the time, you become sick too. And when the soil is sick, it cannot produce. And with urban agriculture, we have with land, it's the same land where, so agronomic practices can help with your production. I'll get to it. Somebody in the morning talk about radio ecology. There are some crops that grow best in Maiduguri, some will grow best in Ebonyi, some will grow them within the radio ecology section, and there will be food security. So when they have a seedling of tomatoes, it doesn't mean to grow everywhere. So there has to be research. So I'm focusing on researchers right now. Then I'm focused on policymakers, and then I'm tying how do we then get it? Are we good? Yeah. So handling and storage, material scientists, the keynote speaker work with his students to do packaging. I have my students working on smart packaging to improve shelf life. Because not all of us have what? Not all of us have refrigerators. So what did I do? Easy. I do polymer as a film, but I pregnant it with Zobo. Zobo is an antioxidant. And what will it do as a film? It prolongs the shelf life of anything that's wrapped in. So I'm playing in where? In packaging. Are we getting the picture? So every one of us can play a role, processing, distribution, marketing. So all of us are the researchers. So look at the chain and think, where am I playing at? Okay, and then find for the relevant collaborator. And then you collaborate together, then the consumer will get the right product. What's the impetus? 1.3 billion tons. America is a capitalist society. They like to equate everything with money. Equivalent of 554 billion US dollars is lost due to what? Food waste and food loss. This can feed what? 1/8 of the world's population is undernourished. And that's what is. So let's come to Nigeria. Agriculture is the second contributor of our GDP, but yet 70% are engaged in what? Subsistence farming. That's a problem. Subsistence farming. The cost of mechanization is high, and our land use policy is impacting us. What's my father's land? What is my place? What is my land? Most of us cannot get acreage to do the mechanized farm because of what? Communal issues, tradition, and all that. So we have a lot of issues. So when we keep asking for more states, for more local government, the divide and conquer, there will be less available land to plant. So we have to always think about the impact. It's the second largest, is the second impact. We are living what? Subsistence. Let's take wheat. Almost everybody is indoor. But do you know, most of our wheat comes from US. Again, we keep eating indoor. Somebody talked about Nigerian land side. Africa, 60% of African land is arable. That means what? We can grow food. So food is not an issue. We have to be able to assess it. We have to be able to produce enough quantity. We're not even producing enough quantity of wheat. So that's the problem. The second one is even milk. A lot of our generation drink milk. Our kids drink milk, everything. But our cow cannot even produce, look at that. The cow in Nigeria produces 1 kilogram of milk per day. US dairy cow produces what? 32. That's research. That's research. But when you come to a developing country, research and development conflicts. Because research takes time. And development, we want it now. And our political system, how many years for rotation? That's the problem too. So we have to look at all these things. You say, is it R&D? Is it R&D? But without the R&D, you cannot. We have to spend time in doing R&D. But R&D takes time, it's expensive. So in the third world, in a developing country, you have to develop your own. So you compare with UK, compare with America, it doesn't help us. But we can get the knowledge, right? We can get the knowledge. What he is doing is amazing. If all of us are presented so far, and this one has talked about gap. So we have to think about that. Why is our cows not producing milk? Why must I be getting milk from South Africa? But some of us will even go and bring cows from Switzerland or something. No, it's not that. How about rice? At least rice, we are sustainable a little bit, but there's some kind of rice. You know, there's Ockman rice, there's some dried rice, but paddy rice. Look at this. The scarcity of rice paddy is a major challenge to rice milling companies across the country. Most of these mills operate at what? 50% below capacity. So we have 200 million people. You want to export or you want to feed. That's the danger we're in. People are trading to get money, but yet they don't have the money, the food in their house. They rather sell it. So, we are at a point where we have to choose between nutritious food and the money we keep in our pocket. That's a sad place to be, but we can change the narrative. Nigeria still depends on what? 1.7 million metric tons of imported parboiled rice. Imported rice, we still do that. So R&D, land, soil scientists, seed breeders, because we have different regional ecology. And that's the blessing of Nigeria. We have different profiles. So each region can produce things that are unique to that region, and together we can solve. If you go to Kano, you see there's a banana trees everywhere. You don't need water, you don't need this. I will get to it. And need trees that go fast by pesticides, right? So we need just to understand the value in everything that we do. So it's time for what? The paradigm shift. And what's the paradigm shift? According to Cambridge Dictionary, it's a time when the usual and accepted way of doing things changes. It's a total change. And a lot of us say, I've done 360. If you've done 360, you're back to where?
To square one.
I will get to turn 180, not 360. Okay? If you turn 360, you've got it wrong. Okay. So we have to be. That means what? According to food and agriculture, that means we have to create sustainable agri-food systems. Almost everybody that has talked mentioned that. Okay, food security and nutrition. Before they will talk about food production, but they don't talk about nutrition side of it. Okay? So, I won't bore you with this, but that's an ag innovation ecosystem. That's what I'm saying. I'm talking to researchers and policymakers. Somebody earlier on said you have to have government involvement, you have to have the private sector involvement, then you have to have, of course, the research institute involvement to solve every problem that we solve, to help the farmer. So I call it quadruple helix, right? Quadruple US and Nigerian government here with agricultural researchers like John, Climate Smart, post-harvest laws, agro-business, all of us, yeah, we all have to come together in one box, and then private sectors, NGOs, who will take that and work extension work with farmers. Somebody has to transfer that technology. And guess what? You have to work with who? The community. If you have the government, researchers, and private sector, it's called a triple helix. You produce the technology or process rice, canned food. But if you have to transfer it to the community has to be accepted. I've been reading a book, GMO, this one, genetically modified, it will harm us, it will do this, it will do this. I've been hearing noise. But if you hear research, a lot of us didn't take the vaccine. A lot of us said this, or they are going to watch. Sometimes we don't do. So we need to be able to educate ourselves and pass it to the community. Remember, 40 to 45% of our community are illiterate. True or false? True. So when you are developing the technology, you have to be cognizant of who you are trying to educate. Because some of us are still traditional in what we do. Or our forefathers planted this way. You cannot tell me. Are we getting it? So there's a lot that goes on. But we fight the way this dashboard works. We get our agro challenges in each region. We map it, then we set our priorities. Okay? Then the government and with partnership, this is the technical line. This where outside help from the US we can help. Okay? In providing solution linkages to how it is done. But this one, there's no need to go on because that's the last session right now. But if we focus on how we integrate it, it looks like a steering wheel. And we have it and we ingrain in our system, it helps us solve most of our issues. So, how do we create this sustainable agri-food system? How do I make everything good work for me? I've heard about post-harvest, I've heard about I need to do this, I need to do that, but how can I make it work? Okay. So it has to be more collaborative network. You have to know how to network, and it integrates several components. A tree does not make a forest. Suddenly you cannot. He talks about finances. You don't have the bank. I took the Sweden data. A lot of people that own private farms are from their own savings. A lot of us here cannot even save to have a farm. So we need a financing pathway, but the interest is what? 26 or 25%? So you cannot. I'll get the picture.
Yes.
So you need collaboration, different ways. So you need empowerment.
It's making sense.
You need this. So you need comfort. But the way to go about it is what? Psychic has to change. Then with the system thinking comes what? The collaborative network and then the community engagement. Don't be emotional about solving realities. Oh, he doesn't like me. Oh, it's not in my vision. You know, most of us want to appoint the VC. They say now the VC has to come from your environment. That's emotional. No, it doesn't work like that. Okay, the picture. So if we're emotional, we're not systematic, it's not going to work out. And that's the biggest issue that we have. Right? So we need the policy guys amongst us, those that can deliver. We need to start breaking those bridges. We need to start, or we need to start mending those bridges or breaking. Either way, you can go and I'll show you later. So, system thinking, you think that it can be done, then you cross-cutting ideas, that's innovative ideas, not same old, same old. He came and said they don't want to do pesticide, which is very good because pesticides give you cancer and all that spray, but you have to have alternatives like biopesticides. So you don't just come and say there's a problem, you have to be able to do what? He didn't just talk about it. He showed example. He has farm. He showed farm. And he's showing him, showing the man making compost. Right? I saw it. So he's identified the problem, but he's showing you how to, and then he's even taking time to do capacity building. So that's how you practically show what can be done. That's systems thinking. You analyze, it's data driven, don't turn away. Why are we having issues? Why did the garlic bread or why did the cassava bread fail? Why are we not having enough wheat? We have to ask ourselves the why question. If you can't ask the why question, you're not thinking innovatively. You're just emotional. And then what happens is, oh, by the grace of God, I'll make it. Yeah, the grace of God is there. Always. Yeah, oh, inshallah, of course. I'll get the picture, but you have to. So, there's no need to develop capacity to collaborate across what? Disciplines. I can collaborate with Yemi, who is a microbiologist, to do what? Food preservation. Okay? Food preservation, food additives that we can preserve. I can collaborate with them. Okay? Being a material chemist. Or you too, Dr. Stefan. Yeah, I can collaborate with him because he will tell me the profitability of agro-business, the costing. I will get in it, but nobody has one. Okay? We can collaborate with each other. That's systems thinking. So system thinking approach will help us reach the promised land. But we have to be integrated. Some of us that are in research, you're already in academia. Okay, you start giving your students, some of us are faculty, start giving your students real life challenge questions to solve our final year project. You saw that from our keynote speaker. It's not just academic for publication. I reviewed somebody's paper they wanted to submit NRF grant. Say they have 25 publications. And most of the 25 publications, I put them together was just like 5. Yeah, in the real sense, it was just like 5. So I always this. I'll get to it. So it's not complicated. This is reality. We have to feed ourselves, right? So our challenges make sense of what? The complexity. Why are we having challenges in my region? Why are we having this? What is the problem? Make sense of it. That's data analytics. Get relevant data. Make sense. Okay. Then cross-cutting ideation and what? Synthesis. You make different ideation. Every idea is right. When you synthesize them, bring them together and see which one makes sense towards your end goal. Am I making sense? So that's how we go. And then you have industrial revival in agricultural sector. Otherwise, we'll still be going. So, the good model is our national agricultural research. We form collaboration, but thematic areas. Some are in production. You know, we always say, oh, we have energy, no power. But if I ask you, what aspect of power are you talking about? The value chain of power is what? Production, storage, distribution, and retail. So, a lot of us don't do power production, that is generation of renewable energy, hydro, thermal. A lot of us don't even do storage. That is what? Battery system. When I ask this, a lot of Nigerian researchers don't want to do battery system. That's why our neighbor, you plug something, you have 240, you plug it. There's too much power getting out. You don't need 240. You know why? We don't have the storage. So unless you know the value chain, you're not able to play a role. So the same thing, how can we help everybody here collaborate? So I put this together. National agriculture related universities and colleges, you're doing food preservation, food fortification for nutrition, laws, all that, you will do your research. But then you form a cluster of solution-driven. If it's tomatoes, if it is increasing the yield, if it is this, that, if you're a breeder, having climate resilience, all that research. But we are going to form thematic labs, innovation labs. These thematic labs are what we have access to several innovation labs in the US that are just agriculture, like Dr. Tubeni said. We're a consortium of over 19 universities, and we have 6 centers of excellence. And we are funded by the federal government there to do mostly agricultural research. So anything agriculture, we can. Are we getting it? So that's how we can work with the clusters. Once the cluster we identify, they are doing crop pest management or disease management, then that's a cluster we can align resources and have. That we have. Okay. Then after that, we start having technology hubs or incubation for NGOs who want to, like those guys there, that's business creation. But then they have to be tied to some farmers who are producing those kind of products. Now if I ask them, that thing they have in the bottle, how many farmers do you have in your cluster? Guess what? They'll just go every day to buy from whatever source. So what do you think will happen? The net quality of that thing in the sachet will not be the same. Because we are not in the cluster. All those things there is good. But if you go from the next one, or you give me this 5 seconds, chances are you analyze might not be the same as last you have. So we have to intentionally, and as a result of that,
let me see
no outside country will come and buy it.
Can you help me hold this one? Let me see DG. Just focus on the man. That's
so that is business creation.
Look at him.
That's business creation. Right? So finally,
Just relax.
we have to know businesses around agri.
Relax.
That's where Dr. Tibili comes. See the tool that you're going to use.
Just relax your mind. Relax yourself. You can see him. Just make sure the camera is on.
Small businesses, I like to work with researchers to show how we can go from the lab to the market. Myself, I have 9 US patents and I've commercialized 4 already from lab to the market. So it can be done, right? It can be done. So we help ourselves. We help ourselves to get to the market by applying what Dr. Bishop said. Yeah. So, the innovation hub, we have to cluster with farmers. We have to empower those farmers. We have to teach them the right agricultural practices. We have to teach them how to mitigate the climate change effect. That's what he's doing. So we all collaborate, work with the farmer. His produce most likely will be healthy. His yield will increase. Then if his yield is increasing, you have surplus. Then he can partner with the cold storage or with carrying. His profitability margin increasing. Are we seeing the picture? So there's no wastage at all. It's a full cycle analysis, life cycle analysis. And whatever is the waste, we can use it. In our lab, we're using pomegranate peel as preservative. Right? But he's using pomegranate for wine, for all this, but we're using the peel, which has more antioxidants. The peel of any fruit has more antioxidants. Because it protects the inside. Right? So when we eat mango, we throw the peel. But for the materialist scientists like me, that's the most important thing we're throwing away. But if you can take it and use it to something, then I'm adding value to even mango use. Are we so to cluster the farmers, then in-country institutions, we do research. Then they partner with our land-grant institutions where we can give up. And US government have lots of grants, international grants accessible, but most likely they want to work through institutions. So if you're in a silo, you'll be suffering in vain, right? So these are the strategies that we're going to develop. So, let me show you one international outlet. It's called United States Department of Agriculture and NIFA, National Institute for Food and Agriculture. They have what they call International Engagement and Research Corporation. Their whole effort is to support developing countries like us. So, through our collaboration, through us as conduit, we can have access to all these things that can help each one of us. We can't all do it. And US realizes that food security is actually a global security issue. Right? So, US realizes Africa is food secure. That will be pleased. Can you imagine 1 billion people in China going on strike? That's why China is food secure. That's why the main speaker said every province has food. Africa, we have the most fertile land, but not everywhere because of other insecurity issues. Not everywhere is farmed. So USDA has the purpose of this international engagement is it enhances effectiveness. So if you come and assess your farm, is your farm effective? Is it climate smart? The last grant I got is about climate smart agriculture and commodity market. You have to help people, and then they give you carbon credit for introducing carbon. What agronomic practices are they doing to give back carbon to soil, but limit what ammonia? And I think you talk about also. Okay, you talk about also integration. Yeah. So one, this pathway is there. Suppose research, education, and what extension activities, just farmers engagement. Okay, or working with women. Then it provides information on opportunities for global engagement. It promotes partnership between NIFA, Food Administration, supporting researchers and international collaborators. Okay, so it's talking about us. And the US government has an opportunity, has a pathway. Right? So we need to be able to leverage that. And what's the whole pathway is to foster a relationship that will promote what? Intellectual exchange with international focus. US is a melting pot. A lot of tropical foods go there. So we are a tropical country. We are right 15 degrees east of the equator. We just have Helena, tropical storm, all that. We don't experience all of those things. If they're dry in the north, there's irrigation. River Niger, River Benue, right in the middle. You can pump water. But guess what? Lagos has Atlantic Ocean, but there's no drinking water. Right? There's Atlantic Ocean, but we import ice fish. What an irony, right? Yeah. Because we're not investing in baby fish farming, in crayfish farming, in all this, because our waters have issues and don't care. We don't care. But we have to start caring because US government can give us faculty exchange, technicians exchange along all these fellowships. And this fellowship require us to work together as a conduit so that we can help the farmers. These are all the people that we work with. Professor Bisong is from Delaware State. He's from Maryland, Eastern Shore, from Central State. But we're 19 strong. But they were all, every year, we get money to do agricultural-related research, livestock, aquaponics, agriculture. Just it's nothing. So this partnership that we're coming to develop here through PALSME, I think it's a very nice pipeline. So that just to show you're not by yourself. You're not alone. If you don't leverage, then will you still get there? Yeah, but it's a slow coach. And time is not, most of us are middle age. I'll get to the picture. So then, after middle age, frustration starts. What's the difficult part of running a journey? The start, the middle, or towards the end of the journey? What's the most frustrating part?
Towards the end. Towards the end. The end, yes. The end.
Well, MC is looking at me. I won't even look at it.
The end, you begin to get tired.
If you're starting a journey, it's easy. If we're young, you go and look for trouble. It's easy to go back home if somebody, right? If it was the end, you can see that's why those that run 100 meters, towards the end, they will do whatever. Because they will see the light at the end of what? But if you're in the middle, you've left the comfort of your home. You can't see where you get. You don't know where you're going. It's frustrating. You can't see the bank. You can't see where the ship will dock. And a lot of us that are middle age, that's the problem. Middle age crisis. And what happened? We try to rush. We retire. Civil service, funeral, all heart attack. Oops. This. Guess what? A midlife crisis. We don't want that. Systems thinking early on. Right? But you know that you cannot do it well. You have help. Through past we are here to serve. Okay? So, again, those that want to sell your product out, it's not just automatic. You have to know the QC. You have to know the QC QA. Those that they open yam and see yam covered with water, what did they tell you? They didn't do their job. What? They didn't do shelf life studies. They didn't do, even talking about the yam, they didn't do it. Okay? So they just went ahead and shipped. So who is getting the loss? The US guy or them? He's a poor farmer because he's paid for shipping, he's paid for everything. I'll get the picture. So when you do your homework, do you know what they say? Garbage in? So you do your own quality control right from the start, your own quality assurance. Chances are, if the final product will be nutritious, will be safe, because you've done all the checks. So in US here, we have 1890 Foundation that can help connect with foreign agricultural services under the US Embassy, USAID. They will give you specification, they will give you what to do, they will have to have checks and balances. Some of you can be the quality control arm, that for any person going to ship tomatoes, for anybody going to ship yam, these are the requirements. And then you need to fulfill the requirements. Through the US Embassy, but we have to be connected to one of our institutions. I'll get a picture. So once we do that, I think we can increase our export so that you get the foreign currency, but it has to be at the right step. So thank you.
Director of Corporate Strategy and Business Development powers me to do a vote of thanks, to thank all of you for coming.
Okay.
And then we will have a lunch and then reconvene here at 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. Okay, you don't want to come on? Okay.
Good afternoon. We really want to appreciate all of you who have come here today. However, let me first make this announcement that those who will be coming back tomorrow, we're not meeting in this hall. We're meeting in Obafemi Awolowo Hall for the syndicate session. While we would have loved to have all of you here tomorrow, tomorrow is actually a work session and limited to just 50 participants. So for those who will not be coming tomorrow, we want to say thank you very much. If you have not been here, it would not have been the way we have seen it. I heard somebody say just now that he has not seen a meeting such as this where people stay all through. And I really commend you for that. Also, if you have not put down your email addresses, kindly do that, because we expect to forward to your emails the materials for this roundtable, and also the outcome of the syndicate meeting, so that we will be abreast with all the decisions made, the communique, and all of that. So let me not take your time. The lunch/dinner is ready. The table here, let us reserve for those who have used a lot of their sweat, you understand? Let them be able to replenish themselves without having to queue up with the rest of us. So the table there is for the VIP delegates and the speakers. And then the rest of us will take these two tables. Thank you for coming, and God bless you.
Well, thank you too. Maybe what you didn't tell them is that I'm the only one who will taste food here and there. Enjoy your meal. Have a wonderful evening. God bless you. See you tomorrow.
This way, please.